This should be played at high volume.
Hello, I'm the Exploring Mind, and we're all exploring minds. When you have a problem, just don't think of the problem, and your problem is solved. Solve a problem. It's not the perfect, but the imperfect who has need of love. People in front of the video screen is not keen. They see the chaos of the red blood, which crawls where it can't. Have a discussion, make a decision. Have a discussion, make a decision. Decision. Do not compute. Your mind is like a computer. Do not compute. Do not compute. Do not compute. Do not compute. This is Earth calling. This is Earth calling. Signature of the space age. Signature of the space age.
We have ignition. We have liftoff of
Universe, galaxies and galaxies. Trillions of stars born and grow smoothly into nebulas, or to die, to explode of supernovas, or implode as black holes. Solar systems, suns, planets, moons, comets and meteors are circling in infinite space. Our blood brothers from eternity implanted intellectual cells into Earth's orbit, but humanity did not learn to live with it. So blood brother angel from eternity made love with Maiden Maria, and half-caste Jesus was born and died for helping us with his intellect, but failed. We wouldn't listen as a Christian. Then the gods battle between good and bad thoughts begun, and the human warriors picked up and fight with their guns. But the children stood up and went in unknown space to try to understand the thought behind the phrase, are the gods cosmonauts? Are the gods cosmonauts? Yet there is the never-ending sigh of future's people's ride, and still the rapid space with the phrase, are the gods cosmonauts? Are the gods astronauts? Astronaut. General loving of universal love. There, where my eyes are turned to, that can I reach within this whole celestial space full of love and other make-believes? Or shall I find it in the musical life of a selected single creature on Earth? On Earth, on Earth. It's good to be back on Earth. Moon shining, on your lazy crying, morning dying, smoking wooden hash pipe, rambling rampage to go down rankle, crazy radio rate of shit diesel. This is my emotion of night smoking metal shit pipe on my evening crying, which is making me dare to play the act of so many other people, just like mine, playing. Inane planets, organic winds are blowing over the surface. The two suns are giving their lives to the planet in vain. Brown plastic leaves waving in the bitter cool air. Intelligence is ruling there for infinite dimensions, and all things are named by the calculated madness, and nobody is listening at the things they say.
This should be played at high volume.
Well aired and wide, space of none, nothing and nothingness, which is enlightened with enlightening to a spot with a little white blood in the black veil of dust. I only want to say, weightless over the mist of morning, take care you avoid the size of lightning. On the capsized size of an edge, where mystic thoughts flow, it is the whole truth, we won the silver suns. A fortune without absence, misfortune, that rich is now for us, and we bomb everything else, then we're rich in the flesh.
I believe in the noble, aristocratic art of doing absolutely nothing.
Whole of the band of lovers and babies, nice and cozy by the tea, nice and healthy for us three. We look in the radiation field, in the earth-long radiation gap, while we pass by together, dreaming of a newborn child. Hatred, banished hatred, turn tomorrow without sorrow. Looking back at years of shadow, my back of all that sweet thunder, because months of hate have served. I climbed on the mountain full of ruin, but the abbess sent inspiration round, and suddenly a veiled hatred race for your tamed achievement. Red snow before my foot end as a deprived hell. I'm a nasty dirty dog, flying as it seems. Hoovering the hum, vital activity of golden silken hue, he yield to superiority. Serious defender of science, buffed and dipply, till tide and he turns steadily away, led astray. Reluctance reflects its hoovering hum of super bum. Nuclear trials of Antrank, don't you think, Frank? He yield to superiority. It's only an insignificant accident. Realisming of surrealism. There, where my eyes are turned to, just a vision of my mind, which is sailing along lines of human escaping from fantasy. A slender figure and a slender means for income rapped me on the shoulder like he patted a child on the head and said, "You are a slacker." And I said, "Business is slacker, you sucker," while banging on the shrunken face. This reality of the people is not what they are saying, but what they are thinking. In this surrealism of unconsciousness, which is the reality of this unsaid thinking thought of my consciousness. Consciousness, consciousness. Ignorant genius, ignorant genius. An answer while awaiting. After a few years, when you're born again, you sometimes feel nostalgic then. When you're tossing about in your bed at night, wake up and begin to think in fright what humanity will donate you. Then let themselves bring to ruin too. Problems are not easy to transfer, I say. It is as good, you won't hit them anyway. That's all.
Poetry is, of course, the third worst in the universe. The second worst is that of the Asgoths of Krea. During a recitation by their poet master Granthos the Flatulent of his poem Ode to a Small Lump of Green Putty I Found in My Armpit One Midsummer Morning, 4 of his audience died of internal hemorrhaging, and the president of the Mid-Galactic Arts Noveling Council survived by gnawing one of his own legs off. Granthos is reported to have been disappointed by the poem's reception and was about to embark on a reading of his 12-book epic entitled My Favorite Bath-Time Gurgles when his own major intestine, in a desperate attempt to save humanity, leapt straight up through his neck and throttled his brain.